You are listening to Boxagon Sports with Abraham Storns Jr., broadcasting the very best in boxing, MMA, and wrestling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
What's up, fight fans? Happy New Year to you guys. Today I'm going to talk about the notorious Conor McGregor, the biggest name in mixed martial arts, possibly mixed martial arts history. He has a fight on January 18th against Donald the Cowboy Cerrone. I'm pretty sure a lot of MMA fans want to see McGregor at least fight a few times this year. Dana White said it's a possibility that McGregor might have 3 fights this year. But today I'm going to talk about possible opponents for Conor McGregor, whether or not he beats Cerrone or not. So these are 8 fighters I think that will be next for McGregor following the fight with Cerrone. So number 8 is Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is arguably the greatest MMA fighter of all time. But he's won 5-1 in his last 6 fights. He still has some skill left, but Father Time has caught up with him. He's 44 years of age. He has, his last 6 fights have not looked too good. He had a very great fight against Michael Bisping. He lost twice in 2019, so his body has been through a lot of injuries. Like he had a gallbladder removed and quite a few leg and shin injuries. But he also said that in early 2018 that he would like a super fight with Conor McGregor. And even though this fight is probably unlikely to happen, I'm pretty sure Dana White will probably find some way to make this happen if Silva wants to fight again and wants another big payday before retirement. But here's the thing: I think Conor will win this fight because Silva, like I said, his retirement is long overdue. So I think Silva doesn't have much left in him, and I think Conor will win this. But I still think it'll still be a pretty entertaining fight. And next on the list we have Colby Covington. Colby Covington has been the talk of the MMA fans have been talking about him the last couple of months. He just lost to Kamaru Usman in a welterweight title fight. Usman retained his title. He defeated Covington by 5th round TKO. Also, he broke Covington's jaw in the 4th round as well. And so Covington and McGregor fight will be very huge. Most fans will view this just for the press talk, trash talk, and press conferences and interviews leading up to the fight. They're known for their foolish sense of humor and trash talk, and I'm pretty sure everyone would love to see this fight just because of the trash talk. And I'm pretty sure Dana White would love to make this happen because it'll definitely sell in tickets and pay-per-view buys. And number 6, we have current UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. The current UFC featherweight champion he has wins over Jose Aldo and Chad Mendes. He just defeated Max Holloway and took his title away from him. Volkanovski is rumored to have a rematch with Max Holloway this year, but Volkanovski also said he wants to actually fight McGregor. McGregor, I doubt he's going to move back to featherweight, but you never know. Volkanovski can move up to 155, or this can be possibly a catchweight, and I think this will be a very great fight. I think Conor will possibly beat Volkanovski, and I think he'll score a KO victory over him. And so number 5, we have Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather faced McGregor in a boxing match in 2017, known as titled The Money Fight. Mayweather won by 10th round TKO. Mayweather has showed MMA fans back in early 2018 about fighting in the UFC. He's posted Instagram and YouTube videos and videos on other website about an MMA appearance. But I guess he was trolling the fans to keep his name in the media. But Dana White Dana White said him and Floyd Mayweather are working together to put an event later on in 2020. He said that Mayweather agreed to compete in 2020. So Mayweather possibly will maybe rematching Pacquiao this summer and facing up against an MMA fighter this fall. Mayweather did say he's coming out of retirement this year, and so a possible Mayweather and McGregor fight in UFC is likely to happen. But Dana White said that he's not sure if Mayweather's going to do MMA or not, but Floyd will possibly get more money in fighting in MMA than boxing. So I think this fight is very likely to happen sometime in 2020. The next on the list, we have current UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. The current UFC welterweight champion says that McGregor would die if he continues to fight. at 170 pounds. He fought Nate Diaz twice at 170 pounds. Diaz defeated him in their first matchup by a second round submission, and he got his revenge on Diaz in a rematch by 5-round unanimous decision. McGregor's fight against Donald Cerrone is at 170. However, McGregor is not used to fighting at 170 because he only had 2 fights there. So I'm interested to see how McGregor will match up against more 170-pound fighters. But McGregor also said recently that he would prefer to fight Kamaru Usman over Jorge Masvidal. So I think, Dana White will probably make that matchup happen, and I'm pretty sure it will be one of the biggest fights of 2020. And number 3, I have one of the Diaz brothers, Nate and Nick. So Conor fought Nate Diaz twice, like I just said previously. And so I think that a trilogy fight, will be very, very exciting. I think it'll be just like the first 2. It was bloody, back and forth. They both gave the MMA fans all around the world a great show, and I think it'll be another war. If I had to choose a winner, it'll be hard to say because to me they're both evenly matched. But I think it'll be very good to watch. And as far as Nick Diaz, I would like to see Nick up against McGregor. The only thing is Nick hasn't fought since 2015 against Anderson Silva. So Nick and McGregor matchup would be interesting. If Nick comes in there as 100% and train hard, Nick Diaz and Conor McGregor matchup would be interesting to watch. Next on the list, we have the current BMF champion and 2019 Fighter of the Year, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal is one of the most talked about fighters in the UFC right now. He had three great wins in 2019. Had a 5-second knockout over Ben Askren and a 4th round TKO / doctor stoppage against Nate Diaz. And so a Masvidal and McGregor fight, Dana White just talked about this a few weeks ago on ESPN and said that most likely will be the next matchup for Conor after Donald Cerrone on January 18th. A Masvidal and McGregor fight will be fireworks. It'll be hard for me to choose a winner in that fight, but it'll be a lot of trash talk. Both have very great styles and 2 great warriors. But I would also say that reason why this fight won't happen is because Dana White said that a couple of years ago that Conor is too small for Jorge. But I think that the reason why Dana White is thinking twice about making the fight happen is because Jorge Masvidal has been talked about by MMA fans. So since he's making a lot of noise in the MMA community, I guess that'll be Dana White's only option for McGregor as far as another big money fight. And number 1, I have the winner between Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, which is taking place on April 18th. Khabib is 28-0, Ferguson is 25-3. This is a long-time matchup that a lot of fans have been waiting to see. This fight has been previously, been attempted to make 5 times. There's been weight issues and injuries, health issues between both fighters, and a lot of people think Ferguson's going to win this fight. I honestly think Khabib's going to take it by submission, but Ferguson, from what I understand, is a favorite to win over Khabib. So I think the winner of this fight definitely has to go against McGregor, because Khabib and McGregor squared off in 2018. It was one of the most highly anticipated fights in MMA history after the bus incident that took place earlier that year, and then the little chaos that happened after the fight with McGregor's trainers and Khabib. Both sides, both cornermen were just going at it, and they had to be escorted out by security. So I think that'll be a lot of tickets for Dana White and the UFC. And as far as Tony Ferguson, he has a similar striking style to McGregor. He's very underrated. He's one of the best out there at 155. So the Ferguson McGregor matchup would also be fun to watch. All right, guys. So let me know who you guys think Conor should fight after fighting Cerrone. Leave a comment, press like, subscribe, and thank you all for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to Boxagon Sports with Abraham Storns Jr., broadcasting the very best in boxing, MMA, and wrestling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.